Altergeist lost to Plains. Let me repeat that. Altergeist, the 5th most powerful deck in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. A deck that, if it's lost any level of meta relevancy, it is simply due to the fact that the FTG forces us to play our decks with a little more punch. A deck that has so much search utility and stun power, lost to Plains! How? This isn't how reality is supposed to work! And it's not like whenever Trickstar or Goki show up in the anime, where they just add more cards to the decks just for pack filler space. No, Emma plays the cards you're supposed to play, and she uses them effectively. She's using her Marionetters, her Meluseeks. Hell, she summons Multi-Faker off of Infinite Impertinence! The most expensive card in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Showed up today. And like, why? Other than that, all around, pretty great episode. Yeah, not gonna lie. Altergeist has a Synchro and a Tuner now, which means they'll be abusing Needle Fiber. Good news, at least we're not getting Needle Fiber in the TCG ever. Anyways, so this week's big theme was actually the theme of just ain't that fucked up. Like, I know that's a weird way to lead off with this, but it is. Like, that's really what this episode is about, because it's about the Emma and Blood Shepherd, their siblings thing. And I'm gonna be straight up honest, I wasn't expecting to like this. I was kind of expecting to just be sitting here in my chair, just being like, come on, why does every character have to be related? Like, why? How? What causes the stars to line up like this? Blah, blah, blah. But I felt like they did enough interesting things with not really having to do a lot that I think it makes it work. First up, and this is very important, the episode definitely plays up just sort of the everything was just put in motion aspect of it. Like, it's not like there's this big, greater thing going on between the two. It's just, it's a really screwed up thing that happened. Like, even the way Emma finds out, it is literally Blood Shepherd just letting it slip that he knows who she is. And then she must do what she does and learns about it. And it's sort of shown when she has her little flashback at the beginning there. She does feel sorry for him. Like, the way she says it, it's very heavy. It's very with this not her typical expression or look. She definitely seems to have thought a lot about this, and it definitely does pain her what this guy has gone through. All that's just kind of conveyed by just not having her be her usual self. It's a very clever little way to do it, especially considering last week we spent a lot of time on a backstory. We didn't spend a lot of time on this backstory at all, and it sort of gave us this feeling that we missed a lot of history. We missed a lot of the stuff to fill in the gaps that we may never get, but I don't really feel like we have to know any of this. Like I said, the episode just plays up, ain't that fucked up? Like, ain't it fucked up that your dad left, raised another family, and then never contacted you your entire life? And I like that it shows that Blood Shepherd, that he was always angry, he was always resentful. It's not this one thing that happened that made him who he is. It seems like he's always kind of had strong feelings and been very emotional, obviously because he's been through a lot. It also makes sense that he was shown to have such a strong connection with his mother. Like, obviously it's his mom, but it adds another layer to it when it's also, he didn't have anyone else. He just had her and what happened to her. It really gives the character a lot more depth, but I never feel like the episode is trying to make you like him. It's never trying to excuse the way he's been the entire show. It's not like what they tried doing with Dr. Akaba or even Pegasus back in the day, where all of a sudden it's like, oh, you thought they were evil and you're supposed to hate them, but no, they're actually sad, hurt little butterflies, and all they need is a hug. Like, no, Blood Shepherd's a bad dude, but he didn't need to be this way. And like I keep saying, ain't that fucked up? And then at the end there, when it's just sort of like Emma tells him, look, at the end of his life, he told me to help you if I could. It's, I know I'm keeping like a record, but it's playing up that, well, why didn't he contact him? Well, it kind of doesn't matter. Like, what matters is that everyone did what they did. Good, bad, or indifferent. And now they're sort of dealing with the consequences of it. Like, they have to deal with what's been going on and how they're kind of going to live with it. Maybe Emma helps him by beating him in a duel next time. Maybe it's sort of insinuated when the show ends, Emma tries to help him, like, with his path to redemption or trying to be happy. Maybe she never helps him. And I kind of feel like they could do any of that because they never really tried to give you a clear-cut example of who's good, who's bad in this situation. Again, ain't it fucked up? I know I've said that a bunch of times. That's going to be the episode title. Then moving on, we get the Aoi and Aqua scene. Oh, and also at the end there where Blood Shepherd doesn't make Emma go away and log her out permanently. He's nuts. That's ultimately what I think of that. He's not a stable human being, so even though it would be in his best interest to get rid of his biggest problem, he can't. He can't help but maybe feel that sense that this is still my sister. Who knows? Maybe we'll see more about it. Actually, we're getting more Blood Shepherd next week, so we very well might get some more information about him. Then moving on, we get Aqua and Aoi's scene. And what's smart about this scene is it's placed in the middle between the two flashbacks. It's literally smack dab the middle of the episode. This is clever because the conversation between the two is we both had bad experiences, or the person I'm based on had bad experiences, depending on how you want to look at it. We both had bad experiences, but I'm glad this good thing happened. That is a very strong contrast to what's going on with the other two characters. In a sense, it's separating the two from each other, the two stories. It is very much that Aoi and Aqua can look past what's been bad and see what's been good, where the other two can only see what's been going wrong. It's a very unique angle and a very nice way to separate what is hero and villain in this world. The idea of those who want to move on and those who want to make something better, besides those who just want to make everyone feel as painful and hurt as they do. I quite like it. And then, of course, we get Aqua and Aoi teaming up, which is great because it means that it keeps Aoi important, which is always a nice thing to do. And then she becomes Blue Maiden. This was fine. I mean, from a narrative perspective, I get the idea. Like, obviously, the idea is she was Blue Angel when it was simply what she idealized being. She was Blue Girl when the two different sides of her personality came together. She is Blue Maiden now that she's learned and grown and transcended. And I do like that in the Blue Maiden design, it's obviously very Ghost Girl inspired. A nice way of showing the influence Emma has had on her and the new strong independent version of herself she is. That being said, I still don't need another Aoi transformation. I don't need 3 versions of her. It kind of just feel like it's choose your fetish, here's your waifu. That's kind of what it feels like, but it's fine. And then we get the final scene of this episode, which I swear to God almost made me fall out of my chair laughing. Because you have that final scene of the 3 heroes together, our 3 most bankable characters, and they give their reasons for wanting to stop Light and save the world. And this ends with Homura having nothing to say, but we will fight. It's like the show is acknowledging how completely useless and pointless he is. He has no motivation, he has no real reason to be here, and they botched whatever symbolic meaning there could be to Yusaku teaming up with another Lost Incident victim. It's almost with trying to restore Aoi and go back to importance, they realized how badly they botched what are supposed to be their 2 central characters. Good work, Yugioh. But no, all in all, I really like this. I like the fact that it played up the screwed upness of its situations. I like that it wanted to separate what makes our heroes and villains. It was a very nice, subtle episode. Altergeist shenanigans, for pretending that didn't happen. And as for the TCG question of the week, Hidden Summoners comes out Friday. It seems like most people don't care, but do you care? Are you interested in pulling up those prank kids? If anything, do you want your hollow rivalry of Warlords and Gozen matches? Because I feel like it's been a long time since those cards got reprints, and it's nice to see them get hollow printings. I'm not a fan of Floodgates, especially ones like those, which very clearly benefit one deck so strongly over whatever it's facing. But it's good to see them sort of get a bit of an upgrade. Tell me that below, and tell me your thoughts on this episode, and as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me next week for more Blood Shepherd doing Blood Shepherd things.